Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into some fascinating astrological predictions from our source material. We're looking specifically at legal matters, endurance, and, well, the notoriously heavy placement of Saturn in the 6th house. If you've ever felt completely tangled up in red tape, you're going to find this incredibly insightful. So, why do some legal battles feel absolutely endless and just impossibly heavy? It's a deeply exhausting experience, isn't it? Navigating these bureaucratic legal systems can totally drain your energy, your time, and honestly, your peace of mind. It's like pushing a massive boulder up a really steep hill only to watch it roll right back down when you're inches from the top. Today, we're using our source text to map out the exact architecture of that kind of struggle. We're exploring a concise list of exactly 10 predictions. These focus entirely on the anatomy of these delays and the distinct struggle patterns that pop up when disputes arise. Legal responsibilities may feel heavier than expected. That simple phrase, it completely validates the real-world stress that you, or maybe someone you know, might be experiencing right now. It really acknowledges the sheer weight of the whole process. Okay, let's dive into this and look at the foundation of why this actually happens. According to the text, Saturn in the 6th house emphasizes three main things: legal endurance, prolonged struggles, and delayed resolutions. Essentially, if you're operating under this influence, well, congratulations, you're basically enrolled in an involuntary masterclass in patience. All right, moving right into our first section, Saturn's heavy legal influence. The text highlights that legal processes here move slowly and require immense patience over long periods. So the absolutely crucial takeaway is that the very nature of this placement means accepting that speed simply isn't an option. Setting your expectations early is your best defense against total burnout. If you go in expecting a quick settlement, the frustration will literally eat you alive. You just have to settle in for the long haul. Which brings us to Section 2, errors, bureaucracy, and delays. See, you aren't just fighting the opposing party, you're fighting the actual machinery of the system. We're talking about repeated adjournments, documentation errors, missing details that cause these out-of-the-blue setbacks, and endless layers of institutional bureaucracy. It's that nightmare scenario where your entire filing gets rejected just because of one missing signature from an authority figure. It becomes this agonizing procedural crawl. In month 1, you hit unexpected early setbacks because of a single clerical error. By month 6, you're practically drowning in procedural complications driven by that bureaucracy. And by year 2, you're likely facing prolonged negotiations before any final resolution is even in sight. The delays and complications compound over time. It is a total war of attrition. Now, what's really interesting about this next part, Section 3 covers the power of persistence. The text actually outlines a very clear strategy for navigating all this. Success here usually comes only after disciplined preparation and consistency. Step 1 is disciplined preparation, double-checking every single document to fight off those early errors. Step 2 is consistency, showing up to every single delayed hearing without losing your cool. And Step 3 is sustained effort, holding your ground during those grueling year 2 negotiations. The outcomes are only earned through this very specific, rigorous formula. Okay, turning the corner here, we arrive at Section 4, late but lasting justice. While initial outcomes might feel highly unfavorable, they improve gradually with time. And this brilliantly illustrates the required reversal of fortune built into this whole framework. You start off losing ground to red tape and unfavorable rulings, sure, but as you apply that sustained effort over time, the scales gradually, finally begin to tip in your favor. Because there is a climactic promise here. Justice arrives late, but is incredibly stable and long-lasting once achieved. And honestly, this is deeply reassuring. All of those prolonged negotiations eventually yield a resolute and permanent finish. When you finally win under this influence, you win for good. The foundation you built through all that disciplined preparation makes the ultimate victory completely unshakable. So I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder today. If justice arrives late, wrapped up in bureaucracy and delays, but it lasts a lifetime once achieved, is the struggle ultimately worth the endurance? It completely changes how you view the obstacles in your path, doesn't it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this deeply structured look at the patterns of legal endurance empowers you to just keep pushing forward.